Hello everybody, welcome to my channel Programming Bit. In this video we will see exception handling. So exception handling is basically another type of conditional code. When we know that a bit of code in our program might fail and give us a traceback, we use this exception handling so our program flow does not disturb, because when a traceback happens in a program, our program flow terminates. So there are two terms in exception handling. The first is try and the second is except. The code we assume that will cause us a traceback, we put that code in the try block, and if the traceback happens, the code we want to run is placed in the except block. It is also known as try catch block in other languages like Java and C. In Python it is called try and except. So we will see it with an example. So I will write here try, and this is the syntax of this try and except execution. So we write the keyword try and then a colon, and then in this indented area we write the set of instructions which we think might cause us an error, and then we write the except keyword, and if we know that which exception may occur, so we write here the exception name, otherwise we can simply remove it and add the colon. Then in this indented block we write the set of instructions which will run if the try block causes a traceback. So we simply tell our program to try the code written in this. If it works, then okay, but if it does not work, then try the except block. So our program execution does not terminate, but it continues. In the previous video when I was explaining input function, I write an example which takes age as an input. So we will repeat that and I will tell you how we can apply try except block there. So here I wrote enter age, and then we have to multiply that age with 2, age multiply by 2. So here I will print res, and as I told you before that the value returned by the input function is always a string, so we have to typecast it into integer. So here I have typecasted it, and now if we see the result, it will ask us enter age. So the answer is 20. But this code can give us traceback. I will show you how. If the user enter the age, but instead of writing it as 20, it writes in alphabets like 20. So this 20 cannot be typecasted into an integer. So if I run here, there is a traceback invalid literal for int function. So this traceback caused the program execution to terminate. So we can overcome this issue by using the try and except block. So we know that this code can give us a traceback, so I write here try, and if a user makes a mistake by entering age in alphabets, we will run the except block and we will print wrong input, please enter digits. So I have to indent this. So now if I run it and enter here 20 in alphabets, so it does not give us a traceback, rather it gives us a message that please enter digits. So here if I write this code again after the print, we can simply print again. For the first time, if I write here 20 in alphabets, it gives us the message and again asks to enter age. Now if I give it digits, so it will print 40. So in this way, we can use the exception handling to avoid tracebacks. So as I told you that after the except, we can also write the exception if we know that only that exception can only occur. So we can see that what exception can occur, and that exception is value error. So we can write here value error. So now if I run it, it will do the same. I write here 20 and it print us wrong input, please enter digits. And then I write here 10, it gives us 20. So in this way we can also specify the exception. Now to the second part of this video, we will construct a Python calculator. As we have learned the conditional code, we have learned exception handling, we have learned operators, we have learned input function. So we can now create a application which is a meaningful application. So this application will consist of a selection menu where the user can select what operation he or she want to perform, and then the calculator will take input from the user, then it will process data according to the user selected operation, and then the result will be printed. So with the help of the knowledge we have gained in this course, we will create a Python calculator. So here I will make a new file and save as calculator.py. I have saved it. Now here we will start from the menu which will ask the user which operation he or she want to perform. So for this we will use the input function, and here I will create a variable operation equal to input. So here I will write
enter 1 for addition. Now I will write the escape character backslash, and for the new line I will write n, which makes it new line character. Now I will again write copy paste enter 2 for subtraction. Copy the new line character and paste here. Again copy it and I will paste it here. Enter 3 for multiplication. Now again I will write enter 4 for division.
in this way we have created a small menu, and at the last of that line I have entered the new line character because we want the cursor to be on the next line to take the input from the user. So here I have taken the operation in the form of digits from the user. As the input function will return a string, so I will typecast it here, add a bracket here also. Now after taking the user operation, we will take two numbers from the user to perform that operation on. So I will write here number 1 is equal to, again I will typecast it, and now I will typecast it into float because the user can also write float. Then input, enter the first number. Again I will do it for the second number. Number 2, enter the second number. So we have taken the operation and the two numbers. Now we will use the conditional code to check the operation the user has specified us, and then operate the two numbers accordingly. So if operation double equals 1, then we will add number 1 plus number 2, and we will add their sum into a variable result. Now we will use the elif keyword, else if operation double equals 2, we will say result equal number 1 minus number 2. So I will copy it and paste it. Operation is equal to 3, and the third operation is multiplication, so we will multiply it. Now we will again copy it paste our operation is equal to 4, and then we will divide number 1 with number 2. So we have made a conditional code to perform according to the user's choice. So here if the user enters numbers other than these 4 numbers, we will use the else keyword to print unspecified operation. So if the user have not given us an unspecified operation, lastly we will print the result for the user. So I will write result equal to, now I will write here comma and result. So this will print our answer. Now we will run it. So it have given us a menu. I will select 1, then I will enter. The first number is 10, the second number is also 10, the answer is 20, and the answer is in float because we have taken the inputs in float. I will also give here a space, and I will add columns so our program look better. Now we will run it and enter here 5. So it will again ask us 2 numbers which the program should not ask because we have entered an unspecified operation, and then there also comes another traceback because we have printed the result which is not defined if the user enters a wrong operation. So we have to correct these mistakes. So first of all I will cut this and print after the result is calculated. Now here after operation I will use another conditional code that if operation is less than equal to 4 and operation is greater than equal to 1, then only this all code will happen. I will indent this, otherwise it will print unspecified operation. So now if I run it and again type here 5, it will simply say unspecified operation. And now if I enter some correct 2, and then it will ask the first number 10, then it will ask the second number 20, and will print us -10. So we have corrected our mistakes, but now if the user enters a string instead of 1, 2, 3 in the operation, then again there will a trace back. So if I write here 1, now there is another trace back. To overcome this issue, we will use the try except block as we did before in the starting of this video. So I will write the whole program in a try block. Try. Now I will use the except block and print enter in digits. So now if I run it and now I write here 1, it will say enter in digits. And again I run here and I enter 1, so it will ask us for the first number. So in this way I have created a Python calculator with the help of all the knowledge we have gained till now. When we will learn the loops, I will show you how we can run this program again and again after this enter in digits message. So for now this is it. In the next video we will learn about functions. So subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so you can get the notification of the rest of the course.